Hello there. How are how are y'all doing? Just take a sip of my water real quick. That's good. That is good. Sometimes you need some cold water, you know what I'm saying, man? Sometimes you need some cold water, but it's been a little bit. As of recording this, it's been I probably shouldn't say because I don't even know when this video is going up. Hopefully soon. But it's been about a month since I've uploaded on this channel, and I've thought about recording a video like this multiple times over the past few weeks. I've been debating essentially how I want to go about my next video and everything like that, because I've had these thoughts pretty much ever since I uploaded my my last video on this channel. I've had this same I don't really know what you call it. It's almost like there's a giant cloud around my ideas for just YouTube in general. It's just kind of I'm not as really on fire for it as I used to be. I think that a lot of that has to do with the with something that I'm just going to talk about in a second. But basically, I've been thinking about recording a video like this for at least 3 or 4 weeks or so, for a little while, because I was just man, I'm not feeling it anymore. And every single time I thought about recording a video, I'd be like, no, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it this Saturday. I'm off work Saturday. I can do it this Saturday. And then it gets to Saturday, and I'm like, well, I'm not feeling it, so I'll do it maybe tomorrow, or the next day, or the next day. I just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and I'm finally actually making a video like this. And I don't want this to be like my other videos where I'm having sad music or anything in the background, or I'm editing it highly in order to make it entertaining. I'm kind of done with that, at least for right now. I just want this to be kind of I'm not being Ian Sheehan 35 right now, okay? I'm being Ian, just Ian, and we're sitting in a room, and you're sitting in a chair, we're talking to each other right now, or I'm talking and you're listening, basically, right? So basically, I don't really have the drive. I'm not really having the drive to make content, and I think it's multiple factors. One of them is because I recently started a job, and of course, being a job, starting a new job always sucks. But this job, it's manual labor. I'm up early. I'm in bed early. So when I'm home, I don't have any energy to just record videos. So my only time to really record videos is during the weekends. And something happened recently that really pushed me over this edge of demotivation. And it was actually two videos I was going to upload. The first one was a video I recorded of Deltarune Chapter 3, right? I was basically... What the heck is this cat doing, bruh? What are you doing? Hold on a second. Sorry, just had to deal with the cat things. But, I got the game when it first came out, right? Because I was like, this is Deltarune. People are going to want to watch this. I even made a thumbnail for the video before I even, it was right after I recorded the, video, was when I made the thumbnail. And I played the entire game of Deltarune Chapter 3, right? I played the entire thing. And I was thinking to myself, man, people are going to watch this. I'm going to get a lot of views for this, because it's Deltarune. This was being hyped up for so long. You didn't even know. This has been hyped up for so long, and I'm I can be one of the first people to upload it on my channel. That that would be crazy. Like, and it could have been, but something happened. And what ended up happening was I put the footage into, do you want out? I'll let you out. These freaking animals, bro. These freaking animals. But what ended up happening was, because, the way I record videos on OBS is that I record the gameplay and then I use a mod for OBS to record my face cam, what you're looking at, completely separate, because I can't really, I probably could, because since now I'm working, I could probably afford an actual camera to record with, but I don't know, this is just easier, because it's all in one program. All I gotta do is click record, and boom, it's all there. But what ended up happening was I put it into DaVinci Resolve, and the video would play up to a certain point. It was like a minute 30 seconds into this 3-hour video, and it would just stop. The video would just stop, and I didn't know why. And it was just, I figured out it was my face cam. I went into the Windows Media Player, and it would stop, and it would say this encoding platform is unsupported, or whatever it said. And I was like, okay, well, then I'm just going to have to make this video with no face cam. Which I was willing to do, but I realized that same problem persisted into the actual Deltarune footage itself. So that basically meant that the video was fried, and there was nothing I could do about it. There was quite literally nothing I could do. There was no way to fix it without screwing up the bit rate and everything. There was no way to get around it. There's quite literally nothing I could do. And when that happened, it tore me up. Not to the point where I was super emotional about it, but I was so pissed off, because it was such a good video too. I'm not trying to gas myself up or anything. I've never been the kind of person to do that. But this was a good video, man. It was just solid. I had so much energy, and it was just all just wasted. It was all just wasted. And that sucked. This 3-hour video, 3.5 hours, or something like that, I forget how long, was just wasted. Wasted because of a stupid error that probably happened because I wasn't writing my videos to an SSD, which I am now. Yeah, that really, really demotivated me a lot. And then after that, I was like, okay, that was around the time I started working, and I was like, well, okay, I'm working now. I'm coming home every day tired. I don't have the energy to record. I'm coming home late in the afternoon. I got to go to bed early so I can wake up early. I need to find time to record a video. So I said, well, okay, well, I like Cuphead a lot, and I have money now, so I'm going to buy Cuphead on my computer, which I had wanted to do for a long time. And I'll just play through the entire game. I'll just play through Cuphead, right? And I think it was 2 Saturdays ago when I did that. I recorded a video that ended up being it was an hour and a half. I'm pretty good at Cuphead. I can beat it pretty quick. And I recorded this entire video of me beating Cuphead in one video, and I was going to title it Beating Cuphead in One Video just because I can, or something like that. Or it was something along those lines. And when I got finished with that, recording that video, I sat there and I thought to myself, man, I just feel like my performance in that video was bad. There was a lot of like it was so like, because my last video on this channel, which was a Terraria gameplay video, right? I recorded that on a Saturday. I think it was either a Saturday or a Friday night, and I uploaded it. And you know, I was pretty tired recording that, but this Cuphead video felt like it was so obvious that I was just kind of out of it. And even though it was a Saturday, you know, and I had slept a long time and everything like that, it still just felt like I was just not into it. You know, I feel like one of my favorite YouTubers, I think he is my favorite of all time, is Corey Kenshin. And he made a video talking about how when you make videos, you have this thing called fire. And the fire is the motivation to create. That is what fire is. Like when fire is being made, it takes something for the fire to be made. Like you think of a finished product of a video, or you think how a video is going to go, or you think of a skit you might do, and you think on it, you dwell on it, you expand on it, and then the fire is born. It's basically word for word almost what he said. For me, as of this moment, there's no fire. And I don't know if the fire is coming back. I just don't know. At least for this channel. For those who don't know, I started a second channel recently that is strictly Terraria content, because for the longest time I had always wanted to make high quality Terraria videos, but I didn't want my catalog to become inconsistent on my main YouTube channel, this one, InChan35. I didn't want it to become inconsistent where I would upload high quality analytical videos and then upload like a Subnautica gameplay, you know. I wanted there to be, you know, I wanted there to be a place where I could just upload this stuff. So I'm going to have the channel, of course, linked in the description. If you want to look it up, it's called The Texas Bandit. And I've uploaded a couple of videos. I have almost 200 subscribers on that channel now. And, you know, it's nice to be able to produce something and put a lot of effort into it. And just look at it and be like, man, that's really good, you know? And I feel like with a lot of my gameplays, there's only a few that I look at and I go, man, those are really good. You know, those are really, really good. And excuse me as I take a sip of my water. I just feel like when it comes to that channel, the fire is a lot stronger than on this channel. On this channel, the fire is basically almost out. On that channel, I can feel the fire. It's not like burning hot, like a camp of people standing around it to keep them warm hot. But it's like, you can see it. You can see the fire. You can see the little tiny, you know, you can see the embers inside of like the charcoal pile. And all you got to do is just add some wood on top of there, or some leaves, and the fire will go up. But I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be for this channel. I'm working on a video, I'll just throw the thumbnail up now, about bullets in Terraria, where I'm doing a deep dive about the bullets in Terraria. And as it's looking right now, I think it's going to be a pretty good video. When it comes to this channel specifically, I've just been out of it. And I feel like I'm going to get personal right now. I might as well. For the longest time, the dream was always to be, at least for me, a content creator. Because I feel like it fit me so well. For those of you who don't really know, so a lot of you, I'm a pretty shy person. I don't really like going out of my comfort zone. I have a lot of anxiety, a lot of social anxiety about things, right? It's just hard for me to like, it's hard for me to step out of my comfort zone in general. It takes a lot. But when I do step out of my comfort zone, I'm always seen as like the super funny, make you laugh, make you happy guy, right? Plenty of my friends and family members will, tell you that like I'm the best guy they know. I like to think of myself as, not so amazing. I just feel like I'm just doing the best I can. But getting back on topic, I'm a pretty socially anxious person. But I've always wanted to be that type of person to just make people laugh, make people happy, influence somebody to do some good in the world, maybe. And I figured out that, I'm not really good when talking to people in real life. But in a YouTube video, I don't even need to talk to anybody. I can just talk to a camera. Because, it's like, I would say, imagine instead of, uploading a video and it getting 1,000 views, you have to show that video in front of 1,000 people, right? You'd be much more willing to just see the number on the screen than have to be in the room with 1,000 people that are watching your thing, even though they're both essentially the same thing, right? 1,000 people watching your video in a big stadium is no different than 1,000 people in their home watching your video on their phone. 1,000 people are still watching your video, but it's different. It's different because you're not actually there with the people. And that was always something that I was like, man, that seems really, really nice. You're telling me that I can just entertain, be funny, be essentially the person that I want to be 24/7. But I can't because I'm too nervous or embarrassed to be that person. I can just be that in a video, right? And that was always something that was like, man, I can really do that. And I look at all of the greats. I look at people like Dan TDM, Corey Kenshin, freaking people like Yami Mash, for example. Nobody even knows who Yami Mash is anymore. Freaking people like Yub or 8-Bit Ryan or freaking all of the greats that made it big. Just being themselves. Just being who they are. That was always something I wanted to do. From a young boy uploading, 11-year-old me, uploading videos on this YouTube channel. It was always just something that, always just felt like, man, this just seems like so me. And I feel like mentally speaking, the dream is dying. Goals are getting more realistic. And the kind of YouTuber that I would like to be, the more casual, plays video games type of YouTuber, YouTube doesn't really want us anymore. There's a couple of people that managed to break the mold. People like freaking, I forget what's his name, Vex, I think is what his name is. Did stuff like that. He makes gameplay videos on horror games. He broke the mold, but a lot of people are not so fortunate. And I feel like it's just, I think of that line that Arthur Morgan says in Red Dead Redemption 2. It's just our time has passed. YouTube is catering more to business type channels. People like Mr. Beast. And I don't blame Mr. Beast for anything. He's just doing what's successful. And if I was in his position, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be doing the same thing. Because why wouldn't you? But at the same time, I feel like YouTube has just changed. I feel like a boomer when I say things like, this is not my YouTube. These are not my YouTubers. I feel so stupid saying that. But it's just I look at the way YouTube used to be, and it's just not the same anymore, Back in the day, it was just people in their living rooms or their basements or their attics just making videos, and people would watch them. But nowadays it's different. Things are getting more corporate. Production and budgets need to be bigger. communities for smaller channels, they're not so tight-knit anymore. You know, like back then, a YouTube channel with 10,000 subscribers, they had like a whole culture around them. You know? Like, dude, so much has changed. And it hasn't even been, like, it's only been like 10 years. It's been like 10, 15 years since all of that stuff happened. I feel like YouTube only really started going down this path in like late 2019, early 2020. Like, back in the day, it was still feasible to like make gameplay videos and, you know, have people watch them. Like, I feel like the best time to start was probably around, it was probably between 2012 and 2014. That's probably the best time to start if you wanted to start. But that's like my main problem is that like I'm more old school. I like just making gameplay videos. But the problem is that no one wants to watch that stuff anymore. They want to watch things like Mr. Beast spend $1 million building a bunker or something and then dropping a nuke on it to see if he survives or something. Or buying like 1 million cookies and then, you know, giving them to homeless people. I'm not saying that what he's doing is bad. I'm just saying that's like the big stuff. The big stuff is what YouTube wants to see. And I'm just not that. I'm not that. And because I'm not that, they don't push my stuff out. They don't push my stuff out. Either that or I'm doing something wrong, which I don't think I'm doing wrong. I like to think that my titles are pretty good. My thumbnails are pretty decent, I would say. And they're a lot better than they were freaking 3-4 years ago, Lord. But I just feel like the environment that I'm used to is like gone. You know, the environment I would have thrived in just isn't available to me. And I've got to push through that. I've either got to push through it and keep going and hope things get better or do something different. And right now, I'm kind of doing something different with my other channel. But I still love this channel. This channel was the first. But of course, there's a lot of problems attached to this channel. Like this channel is attached to my mother's email account. Maybe that's not the best thing to say, you know, but I'm not like saying the name of it or anything, but it's attached to my mom's email account. So like there's a lot of problems. Like if I want it to be independent, like if it does get bigger and I want it to be like independent, like how am I gonna, like can I even switch things? Like can I, like how on earth am I gonna do things? Like set up cards and everything? And like what if her email goes out or she's not gonna use it anymore? Like does her email go to me? Like there's so many things I have to think about, and it's just like, oh, man. It almost just feels like this channel is just getting just old. But I still want to keep uploading videos on this channel. I don't want to abandon it. I know there's still people here. The few people that are still here that want to see my stuff, God bless you. Seriously, I hope that God gives you everything that you ask for. Yeah, that's another thing that, you know, I never really talk about. You know, I put verses at the end of my videos and everything, but I am a religious man, you know. I believe in God and his son, Jesus Christ, who came down and died to pay the penalty for my sins. That is what I believe, and that's what I'm going to continue to believe until the day that I die, whatever day that is. And I feel, you know, like I've just sat and I've prayed over and over and over again, like, God, please just give me something. And I feel like I hear this voice in my head that's like, well, what have you done? Like, you haven't been doing what the others have been doing, the greats before you. You weren't uploading 2 videos every single day while still going to college. You weren't doing that. Your goal was to upload 1 video every other day. And you were too lazy. You couldn't do that. That's my problem. Is that I'm lazy. You know, this is the first time you're ever gonna hear me cuss on my channel. God forgive me, but I'm a lazy piece of shit. I mean, I just am. I'm a lazy piece of shit. And I've accepted that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do things. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone, get a job in manual labor, right? It's literally a job where you cannot be lazy. So that was a pretty good decision, I'd say. And hopefully I get less and less lazy over the years. But I just feel like there's so much that I want to do. You know, I've always felt like every single person is put on this earth with one goal or one purpose, I would say. I feel like in my own view, God puts everybody on earth to fulfill a purpose. And that purpose could be a small one, could be a big one, could be becoming president of whatever country you live in, could be becoming an influencer or a singer or an actor, somebody that drives people to be better. And I've always felt like my purpose was to come down here and make people happy. I feel like that's my purpose. My purpose is to come down here, make people happy, make people laugh, be a good influence on people. I feel like I'm getting so caught up in trying to do that I lose sight of everything else that I want to do. Because I'm trying to do too many things at once. And this is the first time I'm going to mention it really until I'm finished with it. But I've always wanted to tell stories. Okay? I've been interested in writing pretty much since I was like 14 years old. The way that I would come up with my own stories was mostly through video games, right? I mean, I would play games and I would like make my own original characters, you know, my OCs. But I would make my own original characters and I would take walks. I would take walks around my house. Literally, I would just walk around my house over and over and over again. And I still do that just because, you know, I don't want to walk in my neighborhood. And also, you know, it feels good to just walk sometimes. But I would walk and I would listen. I would walk and I would listen to music. And I would think to myself, and I would build upon these characters. I would build their backstories in my head, just everything up here. Like, I've realized I am a genius. I'm a freaking genius only when it comes to the things that I love. When it comes to things I love, I am a freaking, like, laser-focused, like, ultra quantum physics mathematician level smart when it comes to stuff that I want to, like, research and stuff that I want to do. But when it comes to stuff that I hate, oh my gosh, I am the dumbest piece of garbage ever. But I sit here and I'm creating things in my head. I'm creating vast worlds and stories, like entire novels inside my brain. I'm just creating this stuff in my mind. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, well, it's like all of these characters, I'm building them up. I'm creating these characters. I'm giving them their backstories. I'm imagining how they look in my head. Like, even though I can't draw, I have an art style in my head. It's the weirdest thing ever. I'm building them. I'm building their world, their home, their families. Why don't I put this on paper? So that's what I'm doing. I'm writing a novel. This novel was originally actually an Ark Survival Evolved fan fiction, believe it or not, that I wrote for personal, you know, just enjoyment. But the storyline is now completely my own. It is now my own storyline that I have built from the ground up to its own unique thing. And I think that I've got something. I've got something that I actually love. These characters that I've made. And it's in a medium where I can tell a story and have emotions in it and uplift people. You know, maybe this is like just something that I'm called to do, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. And if it's not, and I publish the book and no one reads it, who gives a crap? Because it's mine. And I'm proud of it. So who cares at the end of the day? At the very least, my mom, my parents, my family, my friends will read it, you know. But, yeah, that's basically it. I'm writing a novel. I don't know when it's going to be finished. I I'm trying to work on it on a steady pace when I have energy. But I think that when it does come out, I will announce it maybe on this channel or somewhere, maybe on my TikTok. I don't know. Everything will just be in the description. My TikTok, my Instagram, everything, except my Facebook. But just everything. Like I might just, you know, put it on TikTok, maybe the TikTok shop, maybe I'll do Amazon, maybe I'll traditionally publish it. I got no freaking idea. Right? I just don't know. I'm trying to work on a steady pace, and I think that you guys are going to enjoy it. I hope I can get it out soon. But also I want to take my time with this because it's something that I deeply care about. But really, I feel like the point of this video has almost been lost. This is about me being inconsistent and wanting to be more consistent. So I'll just leave it with this, okay? I don't think I'll ever be 100% consistent on this channel again. At least for the near future. I'm just going to say this. It's going to be... It's only going to get harder to record videos and upload videos at a pace that feels comfortable for me and at a pace that is comfortable for things like the algorithm or whatever. It's only going to get harder. But I have other things that I want to do. I want to spend time with my family. I want to spend more time growing closer to God. I want to spend more time reading my Bible and praying, and I want to spend more time writing, and I want to spend more time creating these worlds, and I want to spend more time putting them on paper. I want to improve things like my drawing skills. I want to upload videos on my second channel, videos that I'm proud of. I want to be better in every single way. And at the very least, I can try that. I can try that at the very least. So, I don't know what my next video on this channel is going to be. It's definitely not going to be something like this, but I hope you enjoy listening to me talk and rant about things. And I hope to see you guys soon. Probably going to upload a video on my second channel. Once again, be sure to subscribe to that channel if you want to see those videos, of course. How about you just check it out first? Check it out, and if you think that it's something that you're going to like, subscribe. But, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I love you guys. There's been a lot of crap that's happened, you know, like when it comes to, I mean, just good gracious life in general, and also like on this channel, so many things. Like I unlisted my most popular videos because I hated them for a long time, and then I re-listed them and everything. But I'm done just doing that. I'm done with that stuff now, and I hope to see you guys soon. So I'll just leave it there. Peace out.